Hello everyone, welcome to the market opening bell for Thursday, 12 March, your 10-minute guide to the stock market. The US-Iran conflict remains tense after the US and Israel launched fierce strikes on Iran. Hong Kong stocks rose initially, but later retreated. The Hang Seng Index opened 152 points higher, climbed as much as 189 points to a high of 26,149, then fell 140 points in the afternoon to a low of 25,819. It closed down 61 points or 0.2% at 25,898. The H-share index fell 5 points or less than 0.1% to 8,704. The Hang Seng Tech Index dropped 5 points or 0.1% to 5,054. Total market turnover declined 23% day on day to 254.4 billion Hong Kong dollars. Southbound trading turnover total $116 billion, while southbound funds recorded a net inflow of $3.448 billion. Details: net buying, CNOOC $1.039 billion, Alibaba $698 million, Geely Automobile $531 million, Xiaomi $159 million, Hua Hong Semiconductor $155 million, SMIC $137 million. Net selling Tencent $2.435 billion, ending 8 consecutive days of net buying. CCB $826 million, ICBC $185 million, Yangtze Optical Fiber and Cable $120 million. According to statistics, southbound funds have net bought Alibaba for 3 consecutive days, totaling $2.03 billion. The 14th CPPCC National Committee's 4th session closed on Wednesday, while the 14th National People's Congress 4th session will hold its closing meeting at 3 p.m. today. Mainland markets closed higher. The Shanghai Composite rose 10 points or 0.25% to 4,133. The Shenzhen Component climbed 111 points or 0.8% to 14,465. The Chinex Index gained 43 points or 1.3% to 3,349. Combined Shanghai and Shenzhen turnover reached 2.5 trillion yuan. The renminbi central parity rate was set at 6.8917 per US dollar, up 65 pips from the previous day and marking a new high in nearly 3 years. In auto stocks, NIL recorded its first quarterly profit. The share price surged 14.1% to $43.5. Geely rose 8.2%, BYD gained 1.2%. Chinese auto industry data showed that Tesla sold a combined 58,600 Model 3 and Model Y vehicles produced at its Shanghai factory last month, up 91% year-on-year, mainly due to a low base last year. Production of the refreshed Model Y was partially suspended during last year's Chinese New Year, affecting deliveries of Tesla EVs made in China. Reports say China has banned state-owned enterprises and government agencies from running the OpenClaw AI app in office computers to eliminate potential security risks. After the news broke, some OpenClaw-related stocks came under pressure. Minimax hit the new high of $1,320 before closing down 6.5%. Tencent fell 0.3% to $552. Mainland media reported that Tencent chairman and CEO Pony Ma forwarded a WeChat public account article about Tencent's full lobster product matrix in his moments, commenting self-developed lobster, local shrimp, cloud shrimp, enterprise shrimp, cloud desktop shrimp, security isolated shrimp room, cloud security guard, knowledge base, and a batch of new products are on the way. Baidu Intelligent Cloud launched Claw, allowing users to raise shrimp with zero barriers. Baidu shares rose 0.8%. Cathay Pacific announced full-year results to end December that beat market expectations, thanks to strong passenger recovery and resilient cargo demand. Revenue reached 160.766 billion Hong Kong dollars, up 11.9% year-on-year. Net profit was 10.828 billion dollars, up 9.5%. Basic earnings per share was 1.655 Hong Kong dollars. The second interim dividend was raised to 64 cents from 49 cents last year, up 30.6%. Full-year dividend per share was 84 cents, up 21.7%. Fuel cost total 30.637 billion Hong Kong dollars, up 8.3%. Hong Kong Express full-year loss widened to $996 million compared to $204 million loss in 2024, mainly due to softer demand on Japan routes, new route cap ramp-up costs, and temporary groundings from Pratt & Whitney engine issues. The group noted that ongoing global geopolitical turbulence has created unpredictable changes in passenger cargo flows and jet fuel prices. Persistent supply chain disruptions and cost inflation continue to affect new aircraft, cabin products, and parts delivery. As the group adds more flights and destinations, it will remain flexible. 8 new narrow-body aircraft will be delivered this year. Passenger capacity is expected to grow about 10%, which will also boost cargo capacity. Lao Pu Gold issued a positive profit alert at midday on Wednesday, forecasting sales revenue of approximately 27 to 28 billion yuan for the year to 31st December 2025, up 217% to 229% year-on-year, and net profit of 4.8 to 4.9 billion yuan, up 226% to 233%. The company said the increases were driven by strong growth in both online and offline store revenue, plus incremental contributions from 10 new stores and 9 optimized expanded stores opened in 2025. The share price rose 2.3% to close at $654. Technical analysis. The Hang Seng Index once climbed above 26,000 points but failed to hold steady above that level. The next test will be whether it can defend the 10-day moving average at 25,843 points. If it loses the 10-day line, the next support level to watch is 25,610 points. U.S. President Trump said on Wednesday that the United States will tap its Strategic Petroleum Reserve to help ease oil prices that have surged due to the war with Iran. Earlier, the International Energy Agency agreed to release 400 million barrels of emergency oil reserves to address supply disruptions caused by the Iran conflict, the largest such release in the organization's history. The 3 major U.S. indexes closed mixed. The Dow Jones fell 289 points or 0.6% to 47,417. The S&P 500 slipped 5 points to 6,775, while the Nasdaq managed to stay positive, closing up 19 points at 22,716. The Fair Gauge VIX index edged down 0.7 points or 2.8% to 24.23. The Nasdaq China Golden Dragon Index, which tracks Chinese concept stocks, fell 55 points or 0.8% to close at 7,167. Tesla saw its China-made electric vehicle sales surge 91% year-on-year last month, driving its share price up 2.1%. Apple remained nearly flat after reports said the foldable screen iPhone will launch later this year. Among the other Magnificent Seven stocks, gains and losses were split, with Nvidia, Alphabet, and Meta each rising less than 1%. Meta on Wednesday unveiled 4 self-developed chips specifically designed for AI-related tasks to be manufactured by TSMC. The company said the first new chip, MTIA 300, has already been deployed in recent weeks to help train models supporting Meta AI. The MTIA 400, MTIA 450, and MTIA 500 will be rolled out progressively, mainly for more advanced generative AI inference tasks, such as creating images and videos based on user text prompts. The company plans to release a new chip roughly every 6 months. Oracle shares jumped 9% after the company reported third quarter earnings and revenue that beat analyst expectations and raised its revenue guidance for fiscal year 2027. February U.S. Consumer Price Index (CPI) data show the annual inflation rate held steady at 2.4%, unchanged from January and in line with expectations. It remains at its lowest level since May 2025. The annual core inflation rate also stayed at 2.5%, the same as the previous months. On a monthly basis, CPI rose 0.3%, slightly faster than January's 0.2% rise and meeting forecasts. Core CPI increased 0.2%, lower than the previous month's 0.3%, and also in line with expectations. Our stock pick today is CGN New Energy, stock code 1811. CGN New Energy's main power asset portfolio includes wind power, solar power, gas-fired, coal-fired, oil-fired, hydroelectric, and biomass power generation projects in the electricity markets of China and South Korea, as well as one energy storage project. The group's businesses in China are spread across 19 provinces, 2 autonomous regions and 2 municipalities, providing extensive geographic coverage and diversified business scope. Clean and renewable energy projects, namely wind power, solar power, gas-fired, hydroelectric, and biomass projects, account for 85.7% of the group's equity installed capacity. Traditional energy projects, namely coal-fired and oil-fired projects, account for 14.3%. As of 30 June 2025, the group's equity installed capacity totaled 10,501.4 megawatt, representing a year-on-year increase of 835 megawatt or 8.6%. Wind power and solar power together accounted for 67.6% of the group's equity installed capacity, with wind power equity installed capacity at 4,436.4 megawatt and solar power equity installed capacity at 2,657.4 megawatt. The group has further strengthened its solar business development, adding 786 megawatt of new equity installed capacity. The new capacity is mainly distributed as follows: 1. 350 megawatt Zhao Yuan offshore photovoltaic project in Shandong Province. 2. 230 megawatt Phase 1 Jianhu Fishery Solar Complementary Photovoltaic Project in Jiangsu Province. 3. 145 megawatt in Hebei Province. 4. 30 megawatt in Qinghai Province. 5. 227.6 megawatt in Zhejiang Province. And 6. 3.4 megawatt in Guangdong Province. As of 30 June 2025, the group's major projects under construction in China are a 145 megawatt solar project in Hebei Province and a 100 megawatt solar project in Hainan Province. Once these projects are commissioned, the group's power generation capacity will be further enhanced. In the energy storage sector, the group is committed to fully leveraging the role of energy storage in the new type power system, focusing on safety, efficiency, and economics. It is concentrating on leading new energy storage technologies such as electrochemical storage, molten salt storage, and compressed air energy storage, while conducting R&D application demonstrations in key technologies for flow battery storage and thermal storage to promote high-quality development of its energy storage business. The group's 200 megawatt, 400 megawatt hour shared energy storage power station project in Rudong, Jiangsu province has successfully achieved full capacity grid connection. This project is one of the largest shared energy storage stations in the East China region, located in the Rudong Economic Development Zone of Nantong City, Jiangsu province. The area features concentrated electricity load and strong, stable, peak shaving demand in the power market, making it highly suitable for shared energy storage development. The project has strengthened the power grid's flexible regulation capability, effectively improved renewable energy consumption, and will provide strong support for energy supply and grid stability in Jiangsu province. Looking ahead, the group will drive innovation in green development models led by new energy, strengthen the construction of digital systems for green electricity operations and maintenance, seize the initiative in offshore wind and offshore solar innovation and development, and actively leverage the role of energy storage in the new power system. It will accelerate the commercialization of achievements to serve the market continuously, create new growth drivers and competitive advantages, and promote the company's high-quality development. Suggested buy in price $2.80, target price $3.10, stop loss level $2.65. I do not hold the above stock.